G'day guys, we got Rhyu here from Above the Rest in the end as well for a quick interview after the game. And I gotta say overall, you guys did really, really good to even get a map of talent, to be honest, because that Ancient was really slick. You know, how chaotic was towards like the end of the match there, because you guys were missing some easy shots, and I'm like, are these guys nervy?
Yeah, I got a little bit nervous. But I think it's more just the adrenaline.
I noticed the 5 missed Tech 9 shots on the planter, okay?
Yeah, that last kill on Hazard, I think it was.
Yeah.
Before it defused the bomb, I was shaking. Like I think I was lucky enough that a stray bullet just hit.
So how's Above the Rest going at the moment? So like, what happened in Open with Above the Rest? I know they came third this season, but what happened last season?
Last season, we didn't have the right players, and it was CJ's first season calling, so you had to kind of ease into it. But yeah, we didn't really have the right players. We didn't really click well. There was some issues between players as well.
Yep. So like, since you guys beat KZG, like who's left and who's come in and whatnot as well? Like, what's happened since you guys beat KZG, like in that open qualifier ages ago?
So I'll quickly bring the match up because I kind of forgot who was on that lineup.
It should be your only
yeah, here we go.
HLTV
Yeah,
game.
So the only people are still CJ and myself. We kicked Crash and picked up Jinxie afterwards.
Yeah.
And then we were going to kick Luffy and Keza at the same time after the season. But they said they were leaving before we could tell them, so figured makes things easier. And then we picked up Kai and Broja. And that was going well. And then Broja, I'm not sure what happened, but he stepped down. So then we picked up AJ. And then the night before roster locks for ESL Open, Jinxie got a message from Ming asking if he wanted to join Vantage.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously he took it. So we messaged Zuko, who we also trialed, asking if he wanted to play.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty lucky actually getting Zuko as well, because that was a hard one, because you had no idea that he left KZ. Oh no, you had an idea he left KZG, so that would have been easy for you.
Yeah.
Yep. So with ATR in particular, like, you know, like, this roster's actually quite good overall. Do you guys think you guys are going to get stage 2 over Rebound?
If we play better than we did last time, I think he was a bit rocky in that first matchup, especially towards the end of Vertigo where we almost choked. I think realistically we should, because they're just kind of aggressive. They don't really have anything smart. They just aim.
Yep.
So if we just play our game, play by the book, then realistically we should win.
And how was like the like going through rosters over and over again? Like, how's that take effect on yourself and CSJ, for example, since you've been through about like 8 or 9 players or so?
It hasn't been easy. There have been times where I've messaged CJ saying I don't really see the longevity of this lineup, considering how we just can't stick with a 5 for a whole season. But it's been on an uprise, I'd say.
Yeah. Like,
despite the amount of roster changes and the different plays we've picked up, I think our ceiling has improved, and us both as players and as a team, we have all collectively improved as well.
Yep. I was just wondering as well, like, do you think moving ECL to like a 12 from 10 to 12 with Semperfi and Talent, obviously potentially Semperfi, and let's say Talent qualify, would it be better to move ECL to a 12-team roster to accommodate? Because of course there's Above the Rest and a lot of other teams that are probably equal to that level of some of the lower lower teams in the ECL.
I would say 12 teams would be better, because it also gives other 2 extra teams the opportunity and the players as well to get their names out there. Obviously with ESL you want the best of the best, but having that 1 or 2 teams that are in the uprise, and getting the names out more in the open would be a good opportunity for them. So I think 12 teams would be better. Plus, gives us more of an opportunity to get in as well. So
also as well, like, you know, with ECL, because obviously I think DPR made a big campaign to try and get it to BO3s rather than BO1 times 2. How do you think BO3s would help you guys in particular? Like if they did switch it to BO3s?
If they switch it to BO3s, that means we can make more mistakes. Obviously, we want to make as little as possible, but it gives us a bit more leniency. Because if we look at the rebound game, for example, where I think we just got rolled first map, we brought it back the next 2 to win the series.
Yep.
If it was best of 2, then having a 1-1 would be kind of not the worst, but could be better.
And not to mention as well, the round difference would have really screwed you, because that screwed Rooster in their tiebreak of KCG, is that KCG beat them by more rounds on the first map.
Yeah, that's definitely another thing to take note of, is obviously the round difference.
Yep. Now, what sort of, like, this is going back to Talon, what sort of pressure, like, are you under when you're versing, like, big name teams like Talon and FlyQuest? Like, is there any difference of play style or any difference within yourself or within the team when you're playing these big name teams?
For me, no, because I like to go into games without any expectations. I understand that even on paper, if they're better or worse, we could still win or lose. But I think playing against teams like Talon, if we lose, it doesn't really affect us in any way, because realistically, we should lose. Like, we don't really lose anything when we do. And if we win, that's great. I think it's more the teams that we would say in terms of skill level are below us. Where I tend to have a little bit more pressure if we start losing. But the better teams, we were just having fun. We understood that they are way better than us. On paper, so we were just having fun playing our own games as we always do, and we weren't doing anything different.
Was there any banter between you guys and Talon? Because I did see the chat going off quite a bit.
There was between Zuko and Addict.
Okay.
I wasn't really in the server that much. I'm not sure what they were saying, but I know there was things being said back and forth.
Not Malta?
I know,
I'm surprised that Malta hasn't said it, because Malta is the banter king, I'm going to say.
I don't remember if I saw anything from Malta, but I remember after that first map, because I think Zuko joked about giving us a map. After coming to the second map, he was so tempted just to say, "Guys, I was joking."
Well, maybe they're just feeling charitable today. Okay, they only gave Shanghai Sharks 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think one thing they were all laughing about is definitely the betters as well. That was one thing I joked about with other mates before the game, because I can't wait to just get more rounds than people expect and just have the betters getting angry.
I don't think any of them got angry today, unfortunately. Didn't troll them enough, okay?
Should have won.
I gotta say overall, I said, incredible ancient overall. So what happened on Mirage, effectively? Is you just got stomped, or was it just some processes that broke down, or what happened on that?
I think we don't really have anything on Mirage. Like, the only strats we have in our strat book are ones that were made when this team was first formed, and maybe even before that. But I think it's kind of hard because they have more experience and they have sharper players, and Mirage is a map where you can just rely heavily on your aim, especially if the right team is to support you. Then one person, I think Hazard was farming us like a lot, especially on their CD side. So it's kind of expected in that way.
And also, I was going to ask, what do you do outside of CS in particular? Because I know a lot of people either have they go to uni, they have a job, or they are not doing anything whatsoever, from what I've seen.
I'm trying to get a job. Got my white card to try and help. Hasn't. But other than that, I just kind of chill at home.
Oh,
play other games.
What's the white card?
It's for construction.
Okay, so construction work and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, to be honest, given that industry, or to be fair, that industry's really struggling.
Yeah, I would play, I'm focused more on carpentry, because it's the trade that I'm most familiar with, and could be getting a job soon, so hopefully I'm not a bum much longer.
Just living on that Centrelink payment, fortnight by fortnight.
Yep.
I'm a financial
Getting paid
advisor,
to play CS.
so I know all the youth allowance, age pension, disability support pension, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I can say I'm getting paid to play CS.
Maybe. Yeah, you could. How many? I don't think Sentinel can have 5 or 6 teams, mate. I think that's disallowed by ESA, mate. It goes against their conflict of interest. I'm also a rulebook merchant now. Okay.
Oh, someone gets Sicarius on the line. Who will know?
Exactly. So obviously as well, like with stage 1, stage 2, and whatnot. Let's just say you go back to open in particular. Would you support having a intermediate division where it's the next 12 best teams, and then have the other social teams in open? Because we noticed early season, there were a couple of teams that were just mate, they've just beaten 6 teams that are social. They shouldn't be in the top 8.
I think yes and no. And I say no because I don't think there's enough intermediate level teams in ACS right now, especially in open.
Yeah.
I think that season there was probably 3 contenders of who's taking first place overall out of 56 teams or something. But I think when we get enough teams and enough teams around that same level, then it would be good. But for now, I don't think it's worth making.
Yeah. So basically, just essentially waiting for 12 contender teams where you're 12 teams can win this, and then you set it up.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want the top 4 teams to just be beating everyone, and then the other 8 just being farmed.
Yeah. Can definitely understand that. So with the obviously end of season in particular, what maps would you like to see in the map pool? So obviously the major ends, and the map pool is most likely, it's hinted at that train's going to come back in. If any other change is going to come back in, and if so, which maps are coming in and which maps are going out?
I don't really see any other team, any other map coming to the map pool. I would like to see Cash added to CS2 in general though, because from the screenshots, I kind of like it, but I haven't seen enough to actually get a full opinion on it.
Yep.
But I think Train getting added back to the map pool would be interesting, but I think the question is which map it'll replace. I think realistically it should replace Vertigo, considering it's the least played map in the pro scene at the moment.
Yep.
So it makes sense.
The elimination stage would love to disagree with you on that one, given the amount of BO1s that were on Vertigo. And I was just sitting there co-streaming being again? Vertigo? And at one point it was both on the A and B stream. It's just what the fuck?
I think I remember seeing something like that, but I think overall, actually I'm not sure about the major at the moment, but I think overall it's the least played map.
Yeah. I believe it's up there with the least played before the major at least. I don't know that much, but I'm not sure after the major. Also as well with the big roster mania rumors going around of a lot of tier 1 teams and tier 2 teams. Do you think it'll have a large impact in Australia where some Australia players could move internationally, or Australia just trigger its own roster mania, or is it just relatively calm now?
I don't think it will affect the Australian scene, because I think JKS is definitely an outlier with pros making international. Obviously Dexter had that stint with Mouse before he came back, but I don't really see any teams picking up an Australian player. If anything, it'll be Inns or Vexite. But other than that, no clue.
Also as well, with the other TOs and whatnot, how do you think next year is going to be in 2025, the new Valve rankings dictating everything? How do you think that's going to change the landscape? And also a lot of TOs are doing, some PGL has announced they're doing open qualifiers, but they've just listed the Asian region in general. What do you think is going to happen there as well?
I think the open qualifiers are good for smaller regions like Asia, but I remember seeing, I think it was Polish female teams, a mixed team of female that played in the Esports World Cup. They shopped to ranked 39th after winning Esports World Cup. So I think Valve rankings, it makes sense, but they have situations like that where it can kind of screw over other teams.
I believe you're talking about Na'Vi Javelins, right? Because they were the ones that won.
Think so. Yeah. I just remember it was a mixed team for different players from different orgs. And they shot to like rank 39 in Valve rankings.
Because the other situation as well is that Imperial's female team's ranked higher than Imperial's male team.
Yeah. So like it's stuff like that. Like
Yep.
it makes sense, but obviously you got like those kind of situations where it doesn't really at all.
Yep. I was actually a bit surprised by it as well, given that the ESL Impact scene is if it's considered a ranked tournament, but it's limited in a way to certain teams. Like, I'm surprised that actually counts for points, because on my like basic understanding of the Valve rankings, I feel like it shouldn't count because other male teams can't enter the tournament. Now, before anyone takes out of context, that's okay. Again, that's okay, but it should be awarded VRS points because of that limitation. Because the Valve, Valve thing's all about open circuit kind of thing. So that's why I'm surprised that that situation's ever occurred. Because I'm just like, but it's a women-only tournament.
Yeah, and plus you got if you ever have another situation like the We Play Academy, where it's just the academy teams, like I think Mouse they won 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Like if that was a situation nowadays, and that'd be in Valve rankings top 10, I would say, just because of that.
Yeah, but then Monacy's on Navi Junior, so what do you expect?
That is true. But I don't know if they won anything with Monacy.
Nah, Mouse is just farming. See, they had like, it was like Corsi, Sui, Xertion. That was such a
I think it was pretty much everyone in current Mouse, but minus Yimfat plus. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he had like an S and a Z in his name.
Well, I mean, Session. Yeah, that's what you mean. Session is the Polish guy. He's the Polish rifler.
Yeah.
But yeah, also as well, I was going to ask, you guys still have the Payne helping you guys out for coaching?
Yeah, Payne is still helping out when he can. Yeah. Especially like the individual. He's helped me a lot since this team kind of formed. Because I think this is the first team where I've been the primary AWPer properly. So him kind of showing me the different plays that he does, the different reactions, the different things that I could do, he definitely helps a lot in that sense. Bobo as well from Canada event, he's been helping us whenever he can, where like he'd hop on core. Sometimes in officials he'd say call a tag timeout, we call it, and then he'd just talk.
Yep. Is he on as your coach already, or?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So is it more like he's more of a like call timeout, breathe in, breathe out sort of thing, or does he put in like information on what he's noticing and whatnot?
Bit of both. He's like, if he can tell that we're getting a bit frustrated or a bit on edge, then he would just tell us to call a timeout just so we can breathe and take a moment to relax. But I think on that ancient game against Rebound, he actually made a call. I forgot what round it was, but he said to call a timeout. We did it. He said to do something, we did it, and we won the round off of it. So it's a bit of mix.
Yeah.
Between that.
Yeah, because a lot of people have different like sort of philosophies of the coach. Like, what are you looking in a coach? Like when you select the coach in particular, like what are the main traits or, I don't know, traits or philosophies you're looking in a coach?
I would say probably depends on what we need at that moment. Like the one thing I like about having both Payne and Bobo is Bobo's helping more team, like more like overall in general, but Payne is more individual.
Yeah.
So having those two coaches focusing on different things is definitely helps a lot. But I think right now, if we were to pick up a coach properly, I would say I would prefer them to focus more on the team stuff, and then have the individual stuff we just do in our own time. Yeah. Because then it would also help CJ a lot with his calling.
Would it be more like tactical, or would it be more like hype person and whatnot? Because obviously NA have this weird obsession that the coach is just a hype person, just like Dan Campbell for the Detroit Lions, if you ever get that reference.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Is it more of a tactical coach or more of a hype man sort of coach? Like, what would you prefer?
He's more tactical.
Yep.
He's more tactical. I would prefer more tactical. Because I think when, like, especially in that ancient against Talon, I think even when we got 6 rounds, we were still, like, the morale was good.
Yeah.
Everyone was in a good mood.
I think we can wrap this one up for today. good insight on above the rest in particular, and looking forward to see how you guys go in the relegations. Like I say, probably the big match I'd predict in stage 2 is going to be between you guys and Mantra, assuming Talon's just going to 2-0 their way to victory, basically. Sorry, Underground, by the way, because I know some of them are watching. What do you want to say to your fans in particular as well? Because you obviously got a lot of fans in chat, a lot of people waiting for you to pug as well, i.e. Brove. What do you want to say to them?
They know I never pug. I pretty much never do.
Yep.
But I just want to say, thanks to everyone who support us in chat. I think when we rewatch it afterwards, it's just always good seeing, especially Duncan. I know every time I'm in chat, he's always hyping us up, always hyping up CJ. It's like small stuff like that that really makes us happier.
Yep.
I don't know, just keep at it. I don't really know.
Red Foo, like I say, he does a lot of hype. Okay, he does a lot of hype. I enjoy him quite a bit. Don't call him Duncan anymore. Just call him Red Foo because of his afro. Every time, mate. But no,
I've only seen photos of it.
Yeah. Oh, I did. Okay, like I say, half the people took photos of me at Fortress, stuff like that. I had no idea who they were. I'm just like, oh crap. But anyways,
You're fans of your own.
I have no idea. Okay, it's just. Anyways, thanks for coming on, and good luck to Above the Rest, boys. Looking forward to it as well, and good luck. See if you guys are in ECL for next season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
See you guys later.
Bye bye.